Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. Today I will perform a live capture of traffic not from my own machine but rather instead from other devices connected to my wireless network. One of the first things that we need to do that I've showed you in the previous tutorials is put our wireless network card into monitor mode so that it may capture traffic not specifically intended for it, rather instead just general traffic on the network, all those signals passing through or passing by. Anyway, I have demonstrated two methods, and I am going to use the later one as it gives a verbose output where I can actually see the processes that might interfere with its workings. So the first thing that I need to do is, of course, type in airmon dash oops dash ng start VLP2S0. Press enter and there we go. It says monitor mode enabled on interface mon0. So we have our primary problem here, which is network manager, and it's just going to generate a whole lot of problems for us. So if we run, oops, not this, but rather instead if you run a check on mon0, so check mon0, press enter, we see that with network manager has actually generated an additional problem here. We need to kill it first, of course, if we want to have any chance of doing this properly. Don't worry about it. I mean, you can restart your network manager and it's going to restart these processes by default. However, should that not be the case, you can just restart the machine as I have stated before and everything will work out just fine. So 8950 is the process ID that I wish to kill. That is my network manager. Now it is dead. Automatically the DHCP client is dead as well. Here, let me just demonstrate that for you. Yup, there we go. All that is left now is the VPA supplicant, and I'm just gonna kill it as a precautionary measure, as it can interfere from time to time and it can be a drag. So kill, excellent. Let's run a check now. Excellent. So when you run a check and when there's no output of whatsoever, you're in a great position. You're in a great spot. That means that the program has determined that there is nothing that will interfere with its process and that it will perform the function without any problems. So let's just clear the screen, and in order to perform a capture, I'm not going to use wireshark, I'm going to use aerodump, and store the output into a file, open it up with a wireshark, and analyze and decrypt it there. So the first thing that I need to do is aerodump dash ng mon0. There we go. So now the live capture process has well, this is still not a live capture process. This is still just a capture process whereby I have conducted a surveillance of a sort of a network of pretty much all the networks around me, and I see a lot of other networks here around me. None of these are mine, so I'm not going to tamper with them in any way of whatsoever. This one here, however, is mine something, and today I will be tampering with it. As it is mine, it is very important to state that you should not do this on a network that you yourselves do not own, or that you do not have an explicit permission to tamper with. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and repeat the command that I have just written now. Specify the channel. So, channel. This is another argument that can be passed to it. As you can see, you have here CH, the one that I have selected, and then you have channel 6, channel 1, and so on and so forth. If you're wondering what these channels are, those are the operating frequencies of your access points. So the general operating frequency for wireless is 2.4, and then you have 2.4 and an additional 2 decimal places are reserved for signals. You can review this on the net. It will give you a range of signals and a range of frequencies. Although it is not really necessary for you to know that at this point of time, I just wanted to throw it in there somewhere so that you would be aware of it. What is important for you, however, is to spot this channel. So mine is working on channel 6, and that is what I'm going to pass here. Next up, I need BSSID. Now BSSID is right here. You can see that you have a field called BSSID, and I'm just going to go ahead. I don't want to retype this hexadecimal number. And that is what I'm going to paste in here. So let me just go ahead and type in write out, press enter, and there we go. The capture process has started. Write out. Out is the file to which these things will be written to, and that is the output file. We will be outputting to that file, and we're going to have it saved in multiple formats so that multiple programs can open it. However, we're not interested in other formats. We're primarily interested in the cap file, .cap, because that is one of the formats that Wireshark will recognize and will open without any problems or difficulties. I do believe that the capture is sufficient for the time being. Let's just go ahead and clear the screen, press LL to list it out, and there we go. So this is a very stupid folder to save things in, by the way. You should never be saving things in your root folder. But since I'm doing this capture and since I'm going to delete these sample files after I'm done, it's fine and okay. But if you're performing a live capture of some sort, if you're doing something serious on the network, do not save things into root folder. In fact, you probably won't be able to, as it will be write protected. Anyway, so you see we have these different formats here. They all contain the same information. However, different formats can be read by different programs. So you have a CSV file, you can open this with Excel. So no problems. Fields will be delimited either by a comma or a semicolon or a tab or something like that. Depends how the CSV file has been written or created. You have some other formats down below which are of no interest today for us, and you have this final format which is out-01.cap. Now, for safety reasons, I'm not going to decrypt this particular file for you. I'm going to decrypt the one that I have found on the net, the sample file. However, I'll just demonstrate how you can open it and what you can see in the encrypted format. So if I just type in wireshark, there we go. And let me just tell you that when you start a program such as Wireshark, and pretty much most of the things that you start from a shell, you can pass an argument to it. So for example, I don't need to open Wireshark now, open the graphical interface, and then within that from that graphical interface, open up a file. Rather instead, I can just pass an argument here like this, out-01.cap. Press enter, and that alone is sufficient for Wireshark to realize which file it needs to open, where the file is, and to actually display it for us as it starts. So I don't need to load anything. This is not a live capture, this is post-capture analysis, so to say. And here we have a lot of packets. You have acknowledgement, power saves, etc. But none of these are really of any use to us. I mean, if I can just find one, there we go. Oops. So if I click on one of them and it says data 32 bytes, I press here and look at what happens. You can't see anything. It's encrypted completely, and the only way you can pretty much view this is either if you're some sort of genius and you break the encryption. Nobody has publicly broken it yet. However, it is possible that somebody has broken it. As somebody said once a while ago, not that long ago, but certainly a while ago, you cannot prove that a system is safe. Rather, instead, you can only prove that it can be broken into. Anyway, here you have completely encrypted data, very similar to what we've seen with HTTPS packets. Except here, if we are on our own wireless network, if we have a key of our own that we have in our router, we will actually be able to decrypt this. Now, I have shown you how you can open up an encrypted file that we have captured. And we have captured, in fact, foreign traffic, even though you can't really see it now. You will see that in the next tutorial when I actually decrypt it and show you the contents of the file, show you what users have been requesting. However, I do apologize because I cannot decrypt this particular file for safety reasons. Not because I do not possess the key. It is my network. I do possess the key, but I simply cannot decrypt it because I would show you all of my personal information. The procedure is exactly the same. You will type in Wireshark as I have typed it in, and you will simply pass a different name to the Wireshark command. And there I will show you how you can actually decrypt it with sample decryption keys, and how you can actually view what sort of information do the packets contain. In any case, I bid you farewell and I thank you for listening. Till next time.